You can't listen to two things at one time and still be able to focus and get everything from both. If you're watching television and someone is talking to you, if you're more focused on the television, the person that you're listening to, you're going to hear their voice, but you're not getting the details. You're not hearing exactly what the person is saying. You may hear bits and pieces of it, but you are not fully getting everything the person is saying to you. Okay, you're not getting full understanding or perceiving all of it. If you're listening and talking to someone that's right next to you and the TV is going, you may be trying to pay attention here and there to the television, but you're going to realize you're going to end up having to focus on one, because you can't focus and download both information at the same time and hear exactly what they're saying to the full capacity as when you're focused on one. So it's the same thing. You can't have God and light. Okay, you can't have God and the devil. All right, you can't have darkness and light. There's only one that you're going to focus on. You may feel like, oh, well, I have God in my life, but you also have the devil in your life. And you're going to see by your actions and the things that you're doing in your lifestyle who you're more focused on. If you're looking at your cell phone and you listen to a video on your cell phone and someone starts to talk to you, if you stop looking at the phone and the video and you start to focus on that person, you're still going to be hearing what is being said, but you're not really hearing. It becomes a noise, it becomes a sound, and you're going to find you're either going to have to pause one to focus on another, or you're going to be half listening. You know, sometimes you ever seen that they're watching the television, they're watching news, or they might be playing a video game or something like that. Okay. And so you're talking to them and you realize the person's not really paying attention to you. They might be going, oh, okay, yeah, or really responding in a way that it makes no sense. You know, you didn't say anything, and then the person said, oh, really? Well, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything. Are you even paying attention? You know, you get into those type of things. So you can't listen to two things at once. They may be present and they both may be talking. All right. There may be TV over here and video game over here, and you may have them all going. But what it is, you'll find that it's a noise. You're only going to be able to focus on one thing and perceive and to get information on what is being said when you completely focus. So where is your focus? This is a question you need to ask yourself. What are you focused on mostly? What are you believing mostly? Are you focused more on the Lord? And everything else will just be a chatter that will eventually fade out as you focus more on God? Are you focused more on the world? Are you focused more on your feelings? Are you focused more on your fears? If you're paying attention to your fears, if you're paying attention more to your feelings and the things of the world, then the voice of the Lord and the things of God is going to become more like a chatter and you kind of hearing it. But as you focus more on the world, your feelings, your fears, your disappointments, your anger, then you're going to find that he will fade out eventually. Where is your focus? What are you more focused on, guys? This is something you need to be realistic about. You need to be truthful about it. Where is your heart and where is your focus? The reason why a lot of people can't really get close to God is because there are other things that they're listening to. And God is there more so like a rescue pack. You know, if you really could just take God off, you will have him on the wall, like how you will have that fire extinguisher thing on your wall. God is just in your ceiling like a smoke alarm. God is in there like a fire sprinkler. You don't think about those things. You just want them to work. If there's a fire, I need to know if it works, these sprinklers are going to work. I want to know that if there's a fire, the smoke detector is going to go off. I want to know that if the ceiling fan is going to work, right? If I get hot, I can turn it on and it'll cool me off. I want to know that if the room is dark, I can flip the lights on so I can see what I need to see, and I flip it off when I walk out. This is how people are dealing with the Lord. He's not a part of their focus. They want him around, but he's not their focus. Let's change that, guys. That's how people are still in strongholds. That's how people are living defeated lives. They have depressed Christians. You have angry Christians. You have lustful Christians. You have hateful Christians. You have just Christians that's just they're just they don't have any side. They're neutral Christians. All this stuff is going on because their focus is not God. There's a lot of other distractions, but God is simply kept there as an emergency kit in case I need you. What do when we have an emergency kit? When I was in Germany, every car is required to have an emergency kit in the trunk. And it's something, honestly, that I've adapted and want to do here as well. As I say that, I need to go and get one and put it in my car. So what do you do? Where's the emergency kit kept? In the trunk. It's not up there with you. It's not in the car with you. It's in the trunk. It's in the trunk. And if you're not going in every now and then and restocking and making sure stuff is not expired, when there's a real emergency, you're going to go in there and find out that stuff has expired and things are dry and things are sticking to the packet. Right? So ask yourself, who are you listening to? Where's your focus? Turn to the Lord, guys. I can tell you that God is real, and, there is joy in focusing on the Lord and letting him guide you and instruct you. It's not always easy. Everything does not always make sense. But as the heavens is higher than the earth, so are his thoughts and his ways higher than our own. I trust the Lord because I know so far he has been really good to me. I know he's brought me out. And what God is trying to keep us from doing is too often we want to really operate on how we feel. We want to remember, oh man, I remember when I felt the power of God like this and blah, blah, blah. And you want that feeling. So if you feel like you're not hearing from God and you feel like you don't have that feeling anymore, then you feel like he's not with you. You may feel like, oh, well, maybe I've done something wrong. You may start to feel like, oh, maybe I should just give up, because we go off of our feelings. Well, what happens is, my brothers and sisters, we can never forget that we are spirit. You cannot see your spirit. When you look in the mirror, you see your earth suit, but you don't see your spirit. There are spirits all around us. They're angels of God. They're not human. They're everywhere, but you cannot see them. So a lot of times what happens is we want the Lord to deal with the flesh, but this flesh and our feelings and emotions, that's going to decay. That's going to go. And our emotions and feelings can only take us so far with God. There's certain levels of intimacy and really knowing God that our flesh cannot withstand and bear. And so therefore now he has to communicate with us in spirit. So when the flesh is not feeling anything, you're going, oh, what's going on? But this is when you have to look within, guys. You have to look within. I don't feel anything, but the Lord is dealing with my spirit man. And I need to walk by faith and not by sight. I need to walk in the spirit and not in the flesh. And I'll continue to worship the Lord. I'll continue to praise the Lord. I'll continue to give him the highest praise. Even though my flesh and my body does not feel anything and it seems this way, I need to realize that now the Lord is going on a higher level with me, which means he's dealing with my spirit. And my spirit feels and my spirit longs for God. And so I will command my flesh to raise its hand and to speak out of its lips what it may not feel and say, Lord, I thank you. I glorify you. I praise you. I thank you that I'm alive today. I thank you that you're amazing. I thank you that even though I don't understand everything, I will trust you. And when you do that, I'm here to tell you, you begin to feel a change even in your flesh. When you're down and out, you can't praise and worship God and still feel sad. And that's what I'm learning is a secret weapon. Oh, when I feel tired in my flesh and I wake up and I'm just dragging and I'm like, oh, and sometimes I woke up before just feeling like, oh, God. No, I gotta power up. I gotta get out of that. So I start to praise and worship God. Lord, I thank you. I glorify you. I thank you. You're so awesome. You're so great. Thank you. And, sometimes I'll say some of the Psalms of David and sometimes I make up my own Psalms. Lord, I thank you. Open the blinds. Look at this beautiful hedge. These beautiful trees that's here. Lord, there's this beautiful red bird you put out. I thank you for that, God. You woke me up. Lord, I thank you that I'm breathing. I thank you that I'm walking. You're amazing. How is it, Lord, that you are so amazing? The world is spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour, yet I can get dizzy. It's going 1,000 miles per hour. Nobody's dizzy and throwing up. Yet if I spin in my own house, I will be throwing up because of the Paralin fluid in my inner ear. How are you so amazing that all these things could be going on? I don't get dizzy at how fast the world is going, yet I get dizzy when I'm turning. Okay, I know the scientific thing might be like, oh, I'm going against the natural. I'm with me spinning, I'm going against the natural whatever of the earth that's already in rotations. But I know that's because the little fluids on the inner ear is turning and it continues to turn. But God, isn't it amazing that you're able to do all those things? How amazing, God, that I can walk, talk, move my hands, do all these things, and my brain can allow me to do all these things in less than milliseconds. Lord, you're amazing. You see, that was my own little psalm right there. And when I do that, I feel the heaviness goes. Why? Because your spirit man is going beyond what's felt. Can't go by what you feel. When you don't feel anything, God's dealing with your spirit man more than ever, and you need to engage with him, because your spirit man is not going off of what it feels. It deals with the unseen. God is going higher with you. He's taking you higher. So then you're not feeling anything in your senses anymore, because now you're on a different level with the Lord. Can you deal with me on this level in spirit, where it's not your feelings? Because when we go higher with God in spirit, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to manifest. Yes, we're going to have those moments where we feel the glory cloud enter the room, and we cried, and we felt the presence of the Lord, and we had a dream, and we saw him, and we ran through the meadows with him. You know, for those of you that's happened to you, okay, or to whatever level you feel his power. But God does not want you to go off of feelings, because God is not trying to minister to your flesh. He's trying to minister to your spirit man. I feel like I've given you two messages in one. When you feel lonely and when you feel like nothing is happening, this is because God is going on another level with you, where he's dealing with your spirit man that is not going off of what it sees, tastes, smell, and the natural senses. But with all of that, you need to be able to hear him, right? You need to be able to hear God and hear what he's saying to you, right? And not paying attention to everything else around you that will cause him to fade out and he'll withdraw, because you know God is not going to force himself on you and I. It's about us choosing him. So again, I'm going to end this video by saying, who are you focused on? What are you focused on? What are you listening to? Because you can't listen to two or more things at once. You will only be able to hear and receive from whichever source you choose to put your whole focus on. All right, guys. Peace.